describe what your team experienced today with the challenge of that opponent?
Everything we thought we would, you know, with the crowd and talent, just the whole environment itself. It was, unfortunately, it was a good setting for a good football game. We just didn't show up today. But overall, I mean, class act around here. Giving Coach all the credit for everything he's done here. People around, you know, even our traveling party and everything we've experienced here has been class act. Something that has been. I know eventually our kids will look back as a good memory, but today just wasn't a very good day on the field.
Montana, the run game, what were they able to do to be so effective?
Anything they wanted to. I mean, we knew they're so good up front on both sides of the ball. And you have 4 or 5 backs like they have. You know, I'm still trying to figure out how they lost last week. It just doesn't make any sense. But you know, I think their scheme and it's the Big Sky Conference. Like you're going to get those types of runs and that type of offense, and they're really good at it. They're bigger than you, and they don't care. We're going to do what they want to do. And today you saw that. You know, we just couldn't do enough to slow them down, and we couldn't do anything on offense because we couldn't control the line of scrimmage at all. So I think both sides of the ball up front, they're extremely good. And you got to give Coach a lot of credit for that.
To see an opponent like that, what sort of measuring stick is that for your program?
I don't know if we can measure anything off of that. They're so good. You know, we talk about tops in the nation. Well, we just saw it. So for us in general, you know, I think a lot of it was a wake up call to some of our kids. And again, we're so young. You know, we're starting over. We had 2 true freshmen starting on the offensive line today against that defensive front. That's a big task, and hopefully we can use that to kind of say, hey, listen, this is the bar. I mean, this is the best of the best. You know, and kind of use that. But other than that, I mean, you know, again, it's just a wake up call for all of us in general. And I think for our program in general, there's a lot of goals, a lot of aspirations, but sometimes reality is reality. And I don't know if we exactly knew what reality was till today.
Coach, at halftime, you and I talked about how you wanted to challenge your team to finish this game. What were some of the things that the team did well towards the end of the game that you could take positives from?
Well, we got a lot of young kids playing time, and you know, I think that just getting them in that experience in general. But you know, there were some good things that some of those young kids did, and I mean, we have some things we can build off of. But again, you lose like that, there's not a whole lot. It's satisfying. It's not. It's hard to find any kind of silver lining when you do that. But I think eventually, especially for a lot of those freshmen that were playing, some of the new guys, just the fact that they were out there and they were competing. You know, I don't know if it necessarily showed that we were doing good things, but they were out there fighting, and that's all you can ask for with a group of guys like we have. You know, go out there and fight your butt off, and see what happens. And they were out there fighting. You know, I didn't see much quit, and we were able to get some young guys in there that kind of did the same thing.
Montana's been trying to clean up their tackling. How did their tackling ability today compare to what you saw on film?
You know, I don't know how much we actually got to pass the line of scrimmage for them to have a chance to tackle, but when we did, I think compared to us, it was great. It was night and day, but I think overall they're so physical in general. You know, the way they cut the box off, and the way they keep you in the middle of it, and the way they can rally to the football. I don't know that we necessarily stressed them in a situation where they had to make open field tackles very often. You know, a lot of it was in the box, and they were able to play downhill and kind of corral the ball. But on film, I mean, I saw a little bit of missed tackles, but nothing that really stuck out to me. You know, heading into it, I wouldn't say they were a poor tackling team by anything. But today, you know, I thought they tackled well. We didn't get a chance to get outside the box to challenge them, and you know, when we did, they made some tackles. So I thought they did really well.
You mentioned the fact that Montana lost last week. Is that something that put your team on high alert? How do you sort of communicate that to your team when you come into a hostile environment like this?
I mean, really, we were not happy about it because we knew they were going to be fired up, ready to kill us. And you know, again, it's to this day I don't know how they lost. I know they were up big, and we watched the film, and it seems like you know, there were some things that happened that didn't make sense on North Dakota side, but. Yeah, anytime you come in here, you really don't want to make them mad and have a reason to come out and play any harder or faster than they will. And we knew that was coming. We knew we had to step it up if we had a chance to really compete with them, and they came out and they played really well. And I saw Coach's press conference through the week too. I mean, he's a good coach, so he would have done the same thing I did. He was challenging them, saying, well, they're 2-0, we're 1-1, and really had them ready to play. And that's what a good coach does. So we knew it was coming.
You talked about some of their backs. They got down to number 7, who we haven't seen yet this year. What do you think of Edwin?
He was phenomenal. The one thing about him is they're all so big. And we started Gilman. He glides, he makes cuts, and he runs hard. I think all of them showed similar skills. I think they're all big physical guys. Hard to tackle. Downhill running is not what we're accustomed to in our conference a lot of times. Not like that with those size guys. And we did struggle tackling when they got to the second level. It was tough. And I thought all of them were extremely talented downhill guys and were hard to tackle.
Just kind of wondering what kind of stood out from Montana's special teams coverage units today.
Well, again, when you have that much talent across the board, you have guys on your depth chart that maybe 3rd, 4th running backs, but they're bigger and faster physical than what we have. I think, again, it's just recruiting. It's part of being a good program. They're bringing in guys every year that may not start, but they're going to be top-notch athletes that can run down there and make your special teams a lot better, and that's what we saw. Again, we knew coming in, but Coach and I talked before the game, and there's only so much you can tell on film. You can watch and guess, but to get here, and we preached all week about the speed of the game and physicality, but until our guys got on the field, they didn't know exactly what it was like. And I think early on, especially some of the kickoffs the returns we had, our guys weren't ready for the speed, and I think it showed. We had to end up going to fair catching because we couldn't get the ball to the 25 on returns. And I think, again, overall as a team, when you have that talent, man, the special teams are going to excel because you have so many athletes that can play.
Thanks, Coach.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Coach.